All right, fast forward about another 3 or 4 months, and I am now at a new apartment. If you can't tell by some of the footage, this is no longer the same parking lot that you guys have seen in the past. So I'm going to do my best to catch you guys up as best as I can because there's a lot of stuff that happened that was really unexpected. I was really down. I was just like super stressed. So there was no way I was making any YouTube videos because it was just going to make me even more stressed. So let me try to do my best to catch you up. So the last problem that we had was that the whole O2 sensor thing was giving me issues. I finally gave up. KPro finally came. I installed KPro, and basically what ended up happening was I turned on KPro, hooked everything up, got my computer all set up, downloaded KPro and everything, and then as I was driving, I would get a check engine light, and I'm like, oh my god, like, what's the problem now? Like, what could have possibly happened now? And I go in and I check to see what the problem is, and sure enough, it's a new problem, the vehicle speed sensor. And I'm like, well, I didn't have this issue before, so why is it happening now? So I thought it was the new ECU, but that wasn't the case. Actually, what ended up happening is that I actually had an open wire on my engine harness, and it didn't really look like an open wire, but it was actually like an open wire, and it had like a cap on it. And there was a lot of engine harnesses here in Japan for the DC5 Integra Type Rs, where the vehicle speed sensor, it's like it has this cap on it, and I don't know really why they look like that or whatever the case is, but I thought that was normal because I saw it on multiple engine harnesses, and I'm like, okay, well, this is normal. Turns out probably wasn't normal. So somebody maybe had cut the vehicle speed sensor wire, or maybe it came like that. I don't know. So I actually had to reattach the vehicle speed sensor wire to the ECU, and I plugged it back in, and sure enough, the codes were gone. Everything was fine, right? So I'm driving around town, having a good time. My car is like completely, drivable now. I can actually enjoy the car now, right? It's still not inspected, and as I'm driving around, I'm on a base map, right? It is not tuned yet. I'm still working on, even till this day right now, I'm still working on trying to find a tuner or somebody who can tune Honda here, and it's really rare for people to do that because, Honda is not really popular out here, it seems like. But I found a few shops that I can work with out in, near Osaka, so I have to go out there, where all the Honda guys are, because, here in Tokyo and in Yokohama, and now I'm in Yokosuka, there's not a big Honda scene out here. It's mainly Nissans. I'm going to work on getting that, but for the time being, I was on a KPro Integra Type R base map with, I think, a Toda header and the cold air intake. I said to myself, the car's running pretty strong. It feels good, let me just like do a quick pull on the highway and just see what happens, right? Because before, when I would do pulls on the highway, when I had my stock ECU in, I would rev all the way up to like red line, but like VTEC, I never really truly heard VTEC engage. And I'm like, well, is this what K-Series VTEC sounds like? Because it doesn't really sound like anything. And I thought something was strange. So I fixed the wire, and then me and my friend Geronimo, we took the car out and we just did some pulls. And, it was fine for the first time. Like I told him, like, hey, do some pulls real quick. I want to see if the car runs lean. I'm checking the wire, I'm checking the data log and making sure everything's okay. Nothing was really running wrong. So I'm like, you know what? You're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, right? That was my mentality. I'm like, it's a Honda. It'll be fine, right? Turns out it wasn't. So a few days later, or like I think the next day later, I take out the car. I'm on the highway on my way to work. I just do like a third gear pull one time, just all the way to red line, and then the check engine light kind of flickers a little bit, and I programmed Honda to flicker when the car is running lean, but at that time I didn't set anything for it to run like for it to tell me that it's running lean. I didn't set anything, right? So I'm like saying to myself, okay, well, that was weird. Let me do that again, and let me see what happens. Like that's a loud bird. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me do that again because that was kind of weird, and I didn't like what I just saw. So I'm going to try to repeat it and see if I get the same effect, right? Turns out that was a really bad idea. So I repeated that. I did another pull. And then when I did that, the car just, it kind of like acted. I don't even know how to really explain it. The check engine light flickered again, and then when it flickered again, this time I was running super lean. The car was like freaking out. The tachometer was spinning all over the place. Like it like had a mind of its own. I'm gonna see if I can try to put up some footage right now of what I was seeing like on the highway. Nothing.
ETC カードが購入されていません。
And you can see like it was just like tripping. Like I don't even know what was going on. And then after that, I pulled off to the side of the road on the highway. And I turned the car off because I was just like scared. Like I was like literally shaking. Like I was like, oh my God, I just spent like 10 grand and now it's all gone. Right. That was my feeling. And after that, I tried to start the car. Nothing. Didn't start. Tried to give it a little gas. Gave it a little gas, and then it tried to start, and then it died. And I'm like, did I just blow my engine? So I had to call a bunch of people, and then finally, the guy who did my catalytic converter, I called him. I was like, hey, like my car is like broken. Can you like, can I tow my car to your place? And he's like, yeah, you can tow it there. So I towed my car there, and it was like a 2-hour tow. Luckily, it was free because here in Japan, I have Sunny Sumpo. So like it was free, the whole transportation thing. The towing company, they kept it at their shop for like one day, and then they shipped it out to a mechanic. And then after that, he looked at the car and he was like, yeah, I think you have like some sort of electrical issue, but like I don't know exactly what you did to your car. Like he's like, I don't know exactly what you did because you got wires all over the place, which to be fair, at the time I had wires all over the place. He's like, I don't know really what's going on here, but like yeah, it's some sort of electrical issue. So if you want to come look at it with, for yourself and see if you can fix it, by all means go ahead, because like, it can't stay here, right? You're gonna have to take this somewhere else if you can't fix it. So now I'm like freaking out. I'm like, number one, I can't take this car back to my apartment because the road is just too narrow. Like a tow truck won't fit there. So I had to take a train like 2-3 hours all the way out there to see if I could fix it. And I thought it was a main relay. I thought it was a fuel pump. I thought it was all these things. I thought it was a bad ECU. So I brought another ECU out. I swapped the ECU, no luck. Swapped the main relay, no luck. I checked the sound for the fuel pump and the relay for the fuel pump. It was fine. So I'm just tripping out. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's something stupid. Maybe it's something really stupid. So one of my good friends, Zion, who has helped me numerous times throughout my journey as just working on cars, and he was just like, you know what? Maybe you should like just check all your grounds and check all your connections, make sure they're all good. And I'm like, man, I was like, I don't know. I think my connections are all good. I think I should be fine. He's like, no. You should probably check those. So I start checking all my connections. Everything's good. And then sure enough, it's one of my connections. So one of my connections must have knocked itself loose somehow. The ECU ground, one of the most important grounds, was a little loose. And it was like jiggling, and I could like move it. And I just tightened it down a little bit. I started the car. I heard the fuel pump prime. And I'm like, oh, it worked. I just started the car and it worked. So yeah, I basically just drove the car all the way back home. And then ever since then, the car has been kind of babied a little bit because I've just been so paranoid to actually like step on the car, right? But that pretty much sums up everything that has happened while you guys have been like just out of the loop, because I was just really stressed. I had no idea what was going to be the outcome, and this is like over a time span of like a few months. So it was really a really good learning experience. It's all over now, and the next step is getting the car inspected. That is a whole different video that I'll make later to catch you guys up as to what happened with that. So that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing this little story about how I almost destroyed my engine, and I will catch you guys in the next one.